Well, it's a massive operation in many respects. It's unprecedented because even the individual component parts would be significant policing operations of their own right. Obviously, the state dinner, presidential visit, significant rallies, the climate conference of itself. You add all those together over the course of a week, and the conference will obviously extend beyond that as well. This is a very significant policing operation, probably one of the largest held in the United Kingdom for many decades.
You've obviously spoken to the groups that plan to protest. What's been the feedback?
Well, we've tried to speak to as many of the groups as we possibly can. Not all the groups have or will engage with us, but the point of trying to engage with the groups is to say, look, people have a right in law to come and protest peacefully about an issue that we know is of significant global importance and concern, and we protect your right to protest peacefully and lawfully and create a safe environment for you to do so. But you've got to work with us, and you've got to accept the responsibilities that come with that lawful right to come and protest. So the reason we've been out and speaking to as many groups as possible is just to make that very clear. Here's where you can protest safely. Here's how you protest safely. Here's where the limits of police tolerance will be around that lawful right as well. Because obviously, if it hits the threshold that or a tipping point where it starts to massively disrupt civic life of the city or other parts of Scotland, or it starts to impede on emergency vehicles, getting from point A to point B, we'll step in at that point, as the community and public in Glasgow would expect us to do, and quite rightly.
It's just a logistical nightmare, though, for you, given the size of the conference, the amount of delegates, people going about their own business. Well,
it's certainly been a logistical challenge. I mean, that absolutely is accurate, but we've been planning for this now for 2 years. We have a very, very significant policing operation with somewhere in the region of 10,000 police officers every day. We've spent a lot of time thinking about those logistical movement plans to try and minimise disruption on the city life of Glasgow as much as we can. But look, we need to be sensible and pragmatic about this. Of course there's going to be some disruption. You can't run an event of this size and scale without some disruption. We're trying to minimise it, and we're trying to tell people as openly and as transparently as we can what and how we intend to run this policing operation, so that people know what to expect and nothing's going to be a surprise, hopefully.
You talked about protesters. Have you prepared for a terrorism attack?
We've prepared for the full range of threats and risks to the event, including obviously terrorist attacks down to lower level protests. So we have the contingencies in place and we have the capabilities in place to deal with a full range of threats, hopefully that won't happen, but if they do, we're ready and prepared to respond to them.